difficult. Allah Akbar. Question. I have taken my headscarf off as I just cannot feel happy and be myself with it on. I feel like I'm still the same religious person. However, I'm not sure whether my salah and other obligatory acts are accepted. Well, to answer your question, first of all, I'll begin from the very end. Your salah, if you are properly covered, of course with your scarf on, has nothing to do with what you do when you're not praying. Your salah is accepted. The mandatory acts are there, the pillars of salah are there, and the voluntary acts are there, and you're praying the prayer on time with the full body cover and the head cover as well. So your prayer is accepted. Your other deeds as well, your fasting has nothing to do with your hijab, with your headscarf. Your zikr, your reciting the Quran, your charity, all of this has nothing to do with your hijab. Hijab as it is something that is mandated by Allah and His Prophet ﷺ. It is obligatory upon you to cover yourself in the presence of strangers. So this has nothing to do with the other forms of worship. However, it is a sin by itself, and this is one of the steps of Satan that he uses to occupy your heart and to infest your heart with illnesses and diseases. So now you don't feel happy when you wear the hijab, but now when you took it off, do you feel happy? I bet you don't. You feel relieved, but deep down inside you're still hesitant. You're still looking at the other women and saying, okay, I'm not putting my headscarf on, but I wish I can expose some of my beauty. I wish I could wear Chanel, for example, or short sleeves, or show some of my this area, chest, and some of my back. And later on, you find that you would feel happier if you do this. So Shaitan comes to you and say, okay, what's wrong in wearing something that reaches your elbows? And after a while, what's wrong in wearing something that reaches your shoulders? And you don't feel any shyness, you don't feel any shame in exposing yourself to men in this fashion. And not before long, you would find it permissible to go in front of them wearing your lingerie, for example, or maybe going to the beach in a one-piece swimming suit. Bikini is out of the question for the time being. So this is how Shaitan comes and invades your heart. It is not an issue that you feel happy or you feel content. You cannot feel or attain happiness except by following Allah's instructions. Do you look around you? All these Muslims who are sinful, do you think they are happy? They're not. They're depressed. Look at the non-Muslims as well. Do you think by exposing themselves and by beautifying themselves and by being a bombshell when they go to college or to the office or when they walk in the street and they're smiling and they're charming and beautiful and gorgeous, do you think that they're happy? Wallahi, they're not. They are depressed, and that is why they kill themselves, committing suicide. That is why they go into drugs. They do marijuana, they do hash, they do cocaine, they do crack, they do everything that they can. If not, they go into heavy drinking. And that is why every now and then you find scores and scores of actors and celebrities going to rehab because of their drinking problems. If you're happy, why do you want to drink? You want to drink to forget. You get into drugs to forget. But a proper Muslim, wallahi, is the happiest person on earth. If sins come to him on a golden plate, trouble-free, he will not accept it because he knows that the source of happiness is following Allah's instructions and not following his whims and desires. So my advice to you is do not look into the issue in an accountant point of view, an accountant way of looking into things. This is mine and this is yours, and we have this and this as cost, and this is interest, and I have to pay this and I will get this. It doesn't work like this, because with Allah Azza wa Jalla, if you work like this, you are on the losing end. Don't look at the sins you're committing, whether they're big or small, whether they're plenty or little. Look at who you are sinful to. If you imagine that it is Allah the Almighty who did not only create you or your family or your tribe or your country or your continent or the earth, it is Allah who created the heavens and the earth, subhanahu wa ta'ala, who you are being sinful to. And all what He wants from you is to wear your hijab, to protect yourself, to conceal yourself, only to be with your maharim, with those who are lawful to see you. And why is Allah instructing you to do this? For your own safety, for your own good, and for your own expression of submission, your will to Allah Azza wa Jal. And after all of that, you reject it, wallahi, you will never find happiness unless you go back to Allah's religion and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. I'll take 2 more questions inshallah, and we will wrap up tonight's session.